श्रीहरिं परमानन्दम् उपदेष्टारमीश्वरं व्यापकं सर्वलोकानां कारणं तन्नमाम्यहम्। आत्मा वा अरे द्रष्टव्यः, श्रोतव्यो मन्तव्यो निदिध्यासितव्यः is a statement in the Maitreyi Brahmana of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. To know the Atma, Atma drashtavyah, Atma should be known. And the way to get Atmajnana, Shrotavyo, Mantavyo, Nididhyasitavyah. Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. We have discussed Shravana as well as Manana. As a result of Shravana and Manana, successful Shravana and Manana, one gets Nishchaya, absolute conviction. No doubt regarding the fact I am the infinite, I am the Brahman. No doubt is left about it. No vagueness is left about it. But then there is another problem. Despite having conviction, despite being fully convinced, one may not be able to enjoy the benefit of Atmajnana because of another problem called Viparita Bhavana. The habitual ways of thinking that are contrary to Atmajnana. The habitual ways of thoughts that are opposed to the teaching of Vedanta are called Viparita Bhavana. Let me give an example. There was a gentleman. He works in an office. In the morning he goes to office 9 o'clock. After breakfast he goes to office. And in the evening 5 o'clock he returns home. This is his everyday routine. And he lives in an apartment in a city. and his door number is 15. Now, he has been living in the apartment number 15 for 20 years. After living in door number 15 for 20 years, on account of some reason, he had to shift to another house in the same floor of the same apartment, same floor of the building, but the number is different. Instead of 15, it is 17. So he moved all. Since it is the same floor, he did not have much, he didn't need packers and movers. He and his wife and children, they all lifted TV, fridge, everything and moved to the other apartment and they vacated this. And some other family came to this apartment number 15. So then, after the shifting got over, he started going to the office as usual. In the morning, he went to the office. And in the evening, 5 o'clock, he was returning home. And when he returned home, because of his 20 years of habit, he knocked at door number 15. He was ringing the bell, and then some other lady opened the door. He was expecting his wife to open the door. Some other lady opened the door. Then he realized, oh, now I have made a mistake. So he goes back, goes to his apartment number 17. Why this happens? It is because of our habit. The 20 years of habit, because of the 20 years of habit, he was every day evening, he was knocking in door number 15. The 20 years habit has built, and the habit is very strong. Therefore, despite knowing fully well that he has shifted to door number 17, because of the habit, he goes to door number 15. Likewise, despite knowing fully well, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the limited being, we have habitual way of thinking. Our mind still holds on to the old thinking pattern, old thought patterns. I am a jiva, I am limited, I am body, Jagat is real. This habitual way of thinking continues. in our mind. As long as the habitual thought patterns continue in our mind, we will not be able to enjoy the benefit of the self-knowledge, because the knowledge is not available. What is available in our mind is the habitual thought. I am a jiva, I am limited, I need support. Therefore, one has to work on the habitual thought patterns. That are contrary to Vedanta. The habitual way of thinking has to be eliminated, has to be mitigated. And what is the way to mitigate it? A deliberate practice of abidance in the thoughts that are in alignment with the self-knowledge. A deliberate practice of entertaining the thoughts that are in alignment with the teaching of Vedanta Shastra. One has to repeat the thoughts. I am Brahman. I am not the jiva. Jagat is mithya. I am unaffected by the jagat. Asangoham, purnoham. All such thoughts need to be deliberately entertained in the mind. Continuously. It is a practice. It is a sadhana. It has to be done with effort. And when the Vedantic thoughts are entertained for a length of time, for a few years, for a few months or few years, slowly the viparita bhavana subsides. It becomes weaker, giving way to the Vedantic thoughts, giving way to the Vedanta friendly thoughts. And then slowly you are able to abide in the knowledge. It is as though the knowledge, the Atmajnana, percolates into each part and parcel of your personality. Nididhyasana is a stirring. Suppose you are given tea. Generally in South India they do this. They will give tea in a cup with another that what do you call, another smaller cup, tumbler, what's it called, whatever it is, I don't know the names, like this. So this is how they give tea. There will be a cup like this and another tea cup like this. And then somebody gave that kind of tea. And then I asked, have you put sugar? And then he said, yeah, I have put sugar. Then I tasted the tea, expecting sweetness, but it is not sweet. You have not put sugar. Then he said, no, I have put sugar. Then I understood what has happened. There is sugar, but it is not mixed. It is not stirred. Since it is not stirred, the sugar has not reached into every part and parcel of tea. It is just at the bottom. Then you do like this. So you mix it, then it is sweet, because the sugar particles have reached all over the tea. Likewise, when Vedanta reaches every part and parcel of our personality, we become Jivan Muktas. We can enjoy the sweetness of Jivan Mukti. We can enjoy the sweetness of knowledge. That is the process of Nididhyasana. You abide in the teaching of the Vedanta continuously. It can be done in many ways. Even if you keep attending the sessions, it is also a type of Nididhyasana, because you are reminded, Aham, you are Brahman, at least for a while. It is an effortless Nididhyasana. Then you can also study the Vedanta on your own. Read the shlokas like Viveka Chudamani. Memorize the shlokas and repeat them and contemplate on the meaning. Sit in meditation and contemplate on the meaning of the shlokas. There are various ways of doing Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is an inner process. You have to entertain the thoughts that are in alignment with the teaching of Vedanta. And thereby counter the Viparita Bhavana. Whenever there is a thought bothering us, we have to do more intense Viparita Bhavana, more intense Nididhyasana. Suppose a particular issue bothers, we have to think what kind of Viparita Bhavana is causing this issue, and then produce a counter thought. If attributing reality to a particular object is causing the viparita, the problem, then abide in thinking of the unreality. The object is mithya. Therefore, why I should be bothering about it? If any particular event in life is causing the problem, understand that the event is mithya. My true self is surpassing the event. My true self transcends the event of life. It is not time bound. Abide in this thought. So, we have to address the issues with the help of our understanding of Vedanta and abide in the thoughts and get rid of the issues internally. So, nididhyasana is a very important aspect of the Vedanta sadhana. And now the author is describing nididhyasana in his own unique way. You will not find it anywhere else. This is only in Aparokshanubhti. And here, the author is describing nididhyasana with 15 angas. 15 angas. See, shloka 100. Tripanchanganyato vakshe purvoktasya hi labdhaye. Purvoktasya labdhaye. Purvoktasya atmajnanasya labdhaye. The Atmajnana which is described before up to shloka 99, labdhaye, to attain that, means to assimilate it. Tripanchangani vakshe, I am going to tell you Tripanchanga, 3 pancha angas. 3 means 3. Pancha means 5. 5 into 3. 3 panchas, 3 fives. 5 threes are 15. 15 angas of nididhyasana are being discussed. Taischa sarvaihi sada karyam nididhyasanamevatu. One should do nididhyasana sada, always, constantly, regularly, with these 15 angas. Nididhyasana is angi and it has 15 angas. There is anga and angi. Our body is called angi, and every part of the body is called anga. Likewise, if you are performing a puja, the puja is angi. Then there are parts of the puja. Every part of the puja, like offering flower or lighting lamp, it is all anga. Puja is angi. So in Karma Kanda, there is a lot of discussion on anga angi bhava. Which karma is anga of which karma? All these are discussed. For example, Darsha Purnamasa, Prayajadi Angas are there. So it is a big discussion. So every karma should have certain angas. So how many angas? What angas form which karma? It is discussed in the Karma Kanda. For example, Sandhya Vandanam. What are the angas of Sandhya Vandanam? Like Achamanam, it is one anga. Pranayamaha, it is another anga. Offering Arghya is another anga. Upasthana is another anga. Japa is another anga. Karanyasa, Anganyasa, they are another anga. So every karma has its own angas. Every sadhana has its own anga. Now there is a sadhana called Ashtanga Yoga. There is a text called Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. Patanjala Yoga Sutrani. Patanjali talks about Ashtanga Yoga. There are 8 angas of yoga. It is called Ashtanga Yoga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. 8 angas. So 8 angas form Ashtanga Yoga. 8 disciplines together form Ashtanga Yoga. Likewise, Hatha Yoga. See, Hatha Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga are 2 types of yogas. Hatha Yoga is mainly focusing on the body. How to keep the body healthy. You have to do certain asanas, certain types of pranayama, certain kriyas. You should eat certain types of food in a given season. All these are given in Hatha Yoga. Then there is Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga is mainly for focusing the mind, accomplishing proper focus of mind and disciplining of the mind. There is Ashtanga Yoga. It is given by Patanjali. Now, one may ask a question. In order to assimilate Atma Jnana, should we do Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga? Or should we do Nididhyasana? You have 2 options. After studying Vedanta, after doing Shravana and Manana, should I do Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga? Or should I do Nididhyasana? Then the author says, you should devote your time to Nididhyasana. Because Nididhyasana is the greatest sadhana. Among all sadhanas, the greatest sadhana is Nididhyasana. Therefore, if one is able to do Nididhyasana, then the best thing to do is nididhyasana. Spend as much time as possible in nididhyasana. But everyone cannot do it. For nididhyasana, first of all, one should have that much of maturity. First of all, do karma yoga, chitta shuddhi, then Shavana, Manana, everything should happen. Only then one can spend all one's time in nididhyasana. That is why such a sadhana, spending all time in nididhyasana, is prescribed only for sannyasis. In fact, only that too not all sannyasis. Only some sannyasis who are fully into jnana, they can do full-time nididhyasana. But for others, they can do a little nididhyasana. Even something is good. A little bit of nididhyasana will also help to a great extent. It will give a lot of peace. It will help in sorting out many issues in life. That is why, after starting to attend the Vedanta sessions, after 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, some people come and say, now it is benefiting. Definitely it works. Even for those who are not devoting to Vedanta full time. Like even those people who are listening to 1 hour per week. Even they will say, there are many people here who just attend 1 session a week. And they have been doing it for many years. Even that helps. Therefore, nididhyasanam karyam. One should do nididhyasana. No, nididhyasana is the best sadhana. One cannot do it all the time. Then one should do the other things like japa. See, we have to see what state our mind is. Sometimes when you are trying to meditate, this happens. All the time one cannot do nididhyasana. Majority of the people. So we have to see what is proper at a given point of time. Sometimes the mind will start drooping down. This is a meditation. There is a special type of meditation. It is called jhatka meditation. Swami Anubhavanandaji called it jhatka meditation. So, when the mind is feeling a little lethargy, etc., it is better to do some physical sadhana, like chant some mantra loudly. Chant loudly any mantra, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, chant it loudly. Then the sleep will go after a while. So we have to see what best we can do in a given time. So, when the mind is sattvika, one can spend time in nididhyasana. So, now while talking about the angas of nididhyasana, the author is naming the angas in such a way that all the angas of their names are similar to the angas of Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga. Like Yama, the angas are named after the angas of Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga. By doing this, the author is showing that nididhyasana is superior to Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga. Nididhyasana is a greater sadhana than Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga. Therefore, a jnani, one who is fit to do nididhyasana, one who is able to do nididhyasana, need not bother about doing Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga and any other sadhana. He can spend maximum time in nididhyasana. That itself serves the purpose. The author is conveying this by including the angas of Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga as the angas of nididhyasana. Now let us look into the angas. 101. So, century is done. नित्याभ्यासादृते प्राप्तिः न भवेत् सच्चिदात्मनः तस्मात् ब्रह्म निदिध्यासेत् जिज्ञासुश्रेयसे चिरम्. Now he is explaining the importance of nididhyasana. Nididhyasana dhrite. Without nididhyasana, Satchidatmanaha praptirna bhavet. One does not get Satchidananda without nididhyasana. Means one cannot abide in jnana without doing nididhyasana. Therefore, tasmat jijnasuhu, a jijnasu, a mumukshu, shreyase, for moksha, chiram nididhyaset, he should do nididhyasana chiram, constantly. It is a lifelong process. Asupter amrate kalan nayed vedanta chintaya dadhyannavasaram kinchit kamadinam managapi. There is a work called Dakshasmriti. Dakshasmriti says, Asuptehe kalam. How long should one do nididhyasana? Asuptehe kalam. Until one goes to bed, not goes to bed. Going to bed, even after going to bed. Until one gets sleep. Sometimes one may go to bed, but one may not get sleep. Then what should we do? take Aparokshanubhti. Immediately sleep will come. Suptehe kalam, until sleep in a day, and amritehe kalam, until death in life. Nayed Vedanta Chintaya. One should spend time with the Vedanta Chinta, doing Nididhyasana. Kamadinam managapi avasaram na dadhyat. Do not give any room for the worldly thoughts. Kamadinam, kama, etc. Do not give any room to them. If you give any room, they may come. When you don't give a room, they will not come. Yamo hi niyamastyago maunam deshascha kalata asanam moolabandhascha dehasamyancha driksthitihi pranasanyamananchaiva pratyaharascha dharana atmadhyanam samadhischa proktanyangani vaikramat. First she enumerates the 15 angas in an order, kramat. What are the angas? Number 1, Yama. Number 2, Niyama. Number 3, Tyaga. Number 4, Maunam. Number 5, Desha. Number 6, Kalata or Kala. Kalata or Kala, both mean same. How many are there? How many? 6. Yeah. 7, Asanam. 8, Moolabandha. 9, Dehasamyam. 10, Driksthitihi. 11, Pranasanyamanam or Pranayama. Pranayama is same as Pranasanyamanam. Then Pratyahara, 12. And 13, Dharana. 14, Atmadhyanam. 15, Samadhi. Kramat angani proktani. These are the angas of Nididhyasana in an order. Now he is explaining each one. Yama, Niyama, each one. Sarvam Brahmeti Vijnanan Indriyagrama Sanyamaha Yamo Yamiti Samproktaha Abhyasaniyo Muhurmuhu. Yama is an anga in the Ashtanga Yoga. The first anga in Ashtanga Yoga. There, Yama is explained as Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya and Aparigraha. These 5 are Yama. Ahimsa, non-violence. Satya, truthfulness. Asteya, not stealing. Non-stealth, not stealing anybody's property and not deceiving anyone. Brahmacharya, see, not stealing. There is a, not stealing is a very important value. Even in a subtle way, we should not take somebody else's belongings. There were 2 rishis. Shankha and Likhita. 2 rishis were there. In fact, there is a smriti called Shankha Likhita Smriti. So it is written by 2 rishis, Shankha and Likhita. Then among these 2, Shankha was the elder brother. Likhita was younger brother. They were living in 2 ashramas. Shankha had his own ashrama and Likhita had his own ashrama in another place, little away. One day Likhita comes to see Shankha, to meet Shankha, his brother, to his ashrama. Then Shankha had gone out. He was not there. Nobody was there in the ashrama. Then Likhita thinks, okay, nobody is here. Anyway, this is my brother's ashrama. So there were many fruits in the ashrama. Apple, mango, so many fruits were there. So Likhita eats all the fruits, many fruits, he plucks and eats. Anyway, it is my brother's ashrama, so he won't mind if I eat. Then Shankha comes back. And he asks, what were you doing? Then Likhita said, I plucked some fruits and ate. Then Shankha says, you have done a wrong thing. You should not pluck somebody else's fruits. It is a theft. It is not that Shankha feels that somebody he has stolen and it is he has lost his fruits. That is not the idea. He is correcting his brother. You should not do it. Even if it is your brothers or your friends, without asking, because you are taking somebody's belonging. Then Likhita understands his mistake. Yes, I have made a mistake. Then Likhita is asking Shankha, you give me punishment for my mistake. Then Shankha says, I am a rishi, a Brahmana. A Brahmana is not entitled to punish. Punishment is the duty of the Raja, king. You should go to the king and ask for punishment. That is the right thing you should do in this given situation. See, this is how the dharma is taught in Mahabharata. This story occurs in Mahabharata. Then Likhita goes to the king and he says, I ate my brother's fruit. Give me punishment. Then the king says, I will not punish you. I have forgiven you. Go. But Likhita does not leave. He says, no, I have made a mistake and it is your duty to punish me. It is Raja Dharma. The duty of a king is to punish properly whoever has made a mistake. So now I have committed theft with the two of my hands. So give me the punishment that a thief deserves. Likhita is asking the king. And then the king said, okay. Finally he had to yield, though he didn't want. Then he says, the punishment for such a theft, according to the law of this land, is cutting the two hands. So the king asked somebody to cut his hands. So Likhita's hands were cut for the small theft. Then Likhita was happy. At least for my papa, I got punishment. And so the papa is, settled. Then he goes back to his brother and does namaskara to his brother. Namaskara, he fell down perhaps. No hands. Sashtanga namaskara, without two angas. Then his brother blesses him and he got his hands back. That is the story. But what we have to learn is, even in a subtle way, one should avoid doing adharma. So taking fruits from any garden, I have told this, now it is up to you what to do. So, asteya, brahmacharya and aparigraha. Aparigraha means not having unnecessary possessions, not having and not accepting the possessions that are beyond one's minimum requirements for conducting a simple living. So these are 5 yamas. These values are very important for a sadhaka. But here, nididhyasana, yama as an anga of nididhyasana is told here. So, sarvam brahmeti vijnanat indriyagrama sanyamaha. Restraining the group of senses. Indriyagrama, the group of senses. 5 jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas, as well as manas. their restraint. How? With the understanding everything is Brahman. When the Indriya is attracted to any object, one should abide in the knowledge, this object, the Nama Rupa, is mithya. Only Brahman is real. Therefore, let me not pursue this object. Let me not seek happiness in this object. And restrain the senses. So, restraint of senses is a very important practice. It is emphasized to a great extent in the Shastra. Sanniyamendriyagramam sarvatra samabuddhayaha. So restrain the senses and see the same Brahman in everything. Te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hite rataha. So, ayam yamaha iti samproktaha. This is called yama as an anga of nididhyasana. Abhyasaniyo muhurmuhu. Yama should be practiced again and again. Muhurmuhu. Punah punah. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.